Welcome to Crypto Flywheel, podcast where we spin up strategies to turn your digital efforts into unstoppable momentum. Now, let's get the flywheel turning. How you doing, Professor X? How are you?
Good evening. Digital X, how's everything going?
It's going well. Beautiful day out. Are you ready for the rise of the Phoenix?
Absolutely. And I can't wait. I think we've had, unintentionally, I think we're doing this as a series, right? So let's just get this Crypto Flywheel in motion right now.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. I got a good feeling for this mid-January till much end of April. I think the markets are going to take off, especially the assets that we hold. I can't wait for...
Yeah, I believe so too, bro. Like this XRP, the entire ecosystem, the financial ecosystem. I keep referring to 222. All those assets, it's inevitably going to take off just because of geopolitical situations as well as industry. Everything is tied. Everything is correlated, I feel. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, right? With regard to the silver, the squeeze, as well as, we talked about Maduro and the capture of Venezuela, all kinds of stuff, right? There's undertones, underpinnings, possibly even, I don't think it's sinister in nature, but definitely there's something to be seen through this smoke screen, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Some of the assets that I'm really think that are going to do exceptionally well. One is XRP, because I think it's ready to lift off to hit the next highs, so which I think may happen in January. I mean, call me crazy, but I got a good feeling.
Yeah. I have that feeling as well, Digital X. I just think, but I can't put a timing on it just because it's so volatile, right? What's happening in the market has so much bearing on what's going to happen in terms of the sentiment, and the manipulation is really evident, right? We have so many holders of this assets, all these assets, and yet there's no price action, right? So even if it was going down, we could say it's going down for a reason, but it's not even going down. It's pumping. It's like all these like flash crashes, and then it immediately pumps off that support, right? So, that leads me to believe that there's manipulation going on, right? What do you think?
Well, yeah, you're right. There is manipulation. I mean, there's 100% manipulation in any markets, but like you just said, after it dumps, they'll go straight back up to its support. The reason why it goes back up to the support is that's the price that these institutions are buying it at. So when they're doing that, they're not telling you that. So retail is actually getting scared, or unsure.
Mm-hmm.
So, the opportunity is there. So if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't.
That's why we're here, right? We want to show them or tell them, our listeners, if you stay engaged, you will get those little tidbits or golden nuggets, or this, as I should say, as I talked to Digital X earlier, I don't call it golden nuggets anymore. I call it silver nuggets.
Anyway, there's several other tokens or coins out there that I think that's going to do well. I think Algo, HBAR, QNT is another one. I think these are all going to run. Yeah. It's got a long way to run. So, these are all opportunities to make money.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take that little chance, then again, this is not financial advice. This is just, we're just talking, so don't take it as financial advice. If you have conviction in what you're buying or what you're invested in, then, go about it that way. Yeah.
Do your research and get involved. We don't like to give financial advice. However, we do like to promote education in the space, knowledge in the space. So that's why we keep asking our listeners to engage, ask questions, make comments. We can talk about those comments and questions. Look, this space, if you don't engage, you're never going to know. If you just listen to our podcast, sometimes the information that we're talking about, we're talking on a level where we understand, right? So if you're not quite, as a listener, not understanding or what these guys are talking about, ask us, and we'd like to talk to you from more of a layman's perspective, so you can grasp it a little better and better prepare yourself to get involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving from that, I know you wanted to speak about some silver. Actually, UK is officially selling their 1 ounce silver for 115 USD.
100?
Yeah, 115.
Wow, that's scary. That's scary for the banking institutions, don't you think?
Yeah, but the banking institutions, it's going to collapse.
Well, that's a bold statement. But
it is.
Can you care to expound on it?
No, it's bound to happen because you have a lot of short positions that the banks
Understood.
hold. And so they're not going to be able to cover it. They're trying to purposely suppress the price that's the low 70s through the COMEX, but it's not doing them any justice, right?
When you say they're purposely trying to suppress it, why? And they can't cover it. What do you mean by that? So for our listeners to get an understanding of what that represents, can you expound a little bit on that?
Yeah. Just an example right now, UK's price on physical silver is 115 USD. Now you got a huge gap from, let's say, $70 to 115. That's like a $45 gap in physical price versus paper price. So that paper price is bought on the derivatives market, right? On the stock market, which doesn't allow you to obtain that physical silver at that price because there's a shortage of silver, right?
Right.
So what's going to happen? They're going to have to, and then there's a lot of shorts on that silver. That's why the price of paper silver is lower. They're purposely trying to keep it low so they don't have to cover their short spread, right?
I understand. So you're basically saying that these shorts, if it goes below a certain peak, or let's say, for example, they're expecting it to go down, but it's actually going the opposite direction, right?
And so they cover that spread, right? So they have to physically purchase the silver at that higher rate. So they're actually losing money because they have to cover those shorts.
So if UK is selling it at $115 an ounce right now, what's the I did mention earlier that it's scary, right? What happens if it goes to 200 plus up towards $500 an ounce for silver? What happens there? Do you have an idea, or can you explain?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve would have to pump more money into the banks to support their shorts. Otherwise, the banks will collapse.
Okay,
So if that happens, that's going to cause issues economically, right? Finance-wise, the banking system is going to be totally upside down. So this is where I think the financial system would be rolled into a new system.
Right. So are you saying that but even then, Digital X, don't they need physical silver and physical gold if they're going to roll out, let's say, for example, on RWAs or ETFs for these things? Like they already have the ETF for silver, right? So do these institutions have stockpile of silver to cover the amount of paper shorts or that they have, or covered shorts or naked shorts or whatever that is? Do they have all of this physical gold to cover that? I don't think they do, right? Because a lot of these people that have investors that have this gold, they're coming back for it. They're asking for it, right? Physically?
Yeah. They don't have the silver to cover. That's why I'm anticipating a collapse with the banking system, unless the federal government, Federal Reserve decides to pump in more money to save them. But even at this point, they really can't save them.
Yeah, because it's like kicking the can down the road. They don't have the physical assets. Even if they pump the money in there, they're just devaluing the currency at that point, right?
Yeah, so the system would have to transition into a new system. So I think that's the plan. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I don't think this is going to go on for too long,
Yeah, I mean, it cannot, because, going back to how this is tied to industry, with all the AI data centers and semiconductors, all industries that have that use electricity require silver as the best conductor out there anyway, right? It's the best conductor. So it's not no longer is it a commodity or an investment vehicle. It's more of infrastructure and required within the industry. So it's gonna, like, these manufacturers of these industry products, they're going to pay a premium because, you know, AI data centers are not going away. Everything is digitalized, right? And cloud service, and, you know, everything's on the cloud, and all of that stuff requires AI data centers, right? So, and that runs on the absolute need is the silver for electricity. No, so I don't know. So yeah, I too believe they may invoke some kind of like a force majeure, something to, you know, and then people are going to be, the investors that are going to come back for their silver are going to get fiat currency, which is technically valueless because it's not even, you know, they really wanted that a commodity and they're getting, or that metal, and they're getting paper. So fiat currency, which is, you know, it's not why they invested to begin with, right? So
yeah. Look, I just want to circle back to XRP real quick. Forgot to mention another reason why I really believe that this will take off soon is because XRP ETFs are, I mean, they are accumulating. They are accelerating how they're accumulating the spot XRPs.
You mean you're saying that there's a lot of people buying and the volume is increasing as far as
since ETFs have come into play, there has never been a day they've been negative in inflows.
Wow.
Inflows have been there's been positive inflows since they've started. Right now they have over close to 767 million XRPs locked up. That's
only going to grow.
Yeah, I mean, that's over $1.5 billion worth of XRPs.
Yeah, so, speaking of which, has BlackRock launched their ETF yet, XRP ETF?
No, BlackRock hasn't, but I'm sure they will. It's just a matter of time.
Well,
I'm sure they're slowly accumulating, or
yes, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
quietly accumulating in the background.
Yeah, because the price is starting to go up. I mean, it was sub 180 a couple of weeks ago. Now it's almost to 215. You know, so I'm not saying that that's directly correlating to BlackRock accumulating, but I'm sure there's it has to be because of the ETF volume and, you know, coming on, you know, daily volume of the ETF investments, right, that are coming in. Yeah. So this is definitely going to take off, and the entire ecosystem probably will too, right, DigitalX?
Yes, I believe so. I think this year is going to be a beautiful upward trending year. Just can't wait for it, and hope everyone else feel the same.
Well, at least if they listen to our podcast, we're talking so heavily on how everything is correlated. You know, we talked about it yesterday. I believe there's a reason behind why the events in Venezuela happened, right? Just think that there's a reason why it happened today, this day and age. I mean, like recently, as opposed to 5-10 years ago. I mean, they could have done this a couple of years ago. Why wait now? So everything is correlated. There's no coincidences. This is my 100% research belief, right? I've been, because we've been doing this Crypto Flywheel and my passion for this digital asset space, I just been doing a lot of research. I mean, many different platforms, articles, releases, you know, all of these news releases, and it all points to a new financial system that is based off of the ISO 20022 messaging system, right? So everything is correlated, and even every industry is going to eventually have their own assets tokenized, right? So we talked about that yesterday. So all of this is going to be facilitated through payment processing, and inherently that's XRP.
Oh, so since you mentioned payment processing, what do you think the platform X, when do you think they'll start introducing that everything app that Elon was speaking about?
So Elon's not someone who is, he'll come out with it and then he'll create the buzz, right? So right now, everything slowly but surely, when you ask the question, when, it's going to be really soon and sudden. There are a lot of things going on. I mean, and mainstream media frames it as glitches and other things, right? So, Elon Musk is part of that. Right. So he's going to come out with it when it's right time. So if you hear this in the next week or two, there's a reason behind it. Right. That just means that it's about to take off, guys. You're like, I don't know if you've noticed Digital X, but
what blockchain do you think he will be using for processing his transactions?
Honestly, I really do think I don't think he would come out and say per se right away. But I think it's XRP. I think the XRP ledger is where he's going to launch this on.
Do you see it there being a possibility maybe XLM on the Stellar network?
Depends on maybe, possibly because of the peer-to-peer, because there's more, it's not as much cross-border, although it could be because all the X users could be international, right? So it's it all depends. I'll be speculating on which blockchain he'll use, but nonetheless, it's still going to be ISO 20022.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Grok AI logo, it looks like the Stellar logo, doesn't it?
Oh, now that you point that out, I really didn't. Let me take a look at it as we're speaking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think? Don't you think it may be Stellar XLM?
It could be. Now that I look at it, Digital X, I really do think that's a striking resemblance to the Stellar Lumen logo. And again, even Grok is black and white.
Yeah.
Take that for what it's worth. I mean, if our listeners don't understand what that means, do you want to share that, or is that top secret?
Yeah, we'll share it on the next podcast. What do you think?
Okay. Keep them coming back. That's what we want our listeners to keep on coming back.
If they know what we're talking about, please comment in our comment section, and we can tell you if you're thinking along our thoughts.
Yeah. So the thing that we want you to comment on is Grok's logo colors and the logo itself. So if you can put that up there, if you know what we're talking about, comment on it, then we can talk about it tomorrow's episode.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what else? What else you got going on today?
So I mean, as far as that goes, man, I like you said, the crypto markets have been taking off. So that, in my opinion, I don't know if it's ready to quote unquote flip the switch yet. I think it's still, in a range where they're, taking profits up and down, manipulating it back down to a support and then buying some more and accumulating. That's what I think it is right now. Now, maybe at the end of this month, it could change a little. You could see a ceiling go higher, maybe. But I would say that there's going to be new all-time highs possibly by March. And that's just my opinion, right? So, and it's not financial advice. So nonetheless, overall opinion is that even if you get in at $2.10 or $2.15, it's still a steal, I believe, because we know where it's all headed. It's going to go, it needs to go way higher. Right now, the manipulation is keeping it down. That's what I feel.
Okay. So you want to go ahead and close it out for the day and circle back tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. So to our listeners, let's get the comments. Let's start engaging. We want to talk more about these events, the space, digital asset tokenization. There's so much to be talked about, but we need engagement to naturally talk about it, right? So if you guys can comment in our comment section, engage with us, and then we will answer in the comment section or subsequent episodes, we can talk about your comments. So if you don't have anything further, Do you, Digital X?
No.
Okay. So with that, the Crypto Flywheel is signing off. Thank you all.
Thank you.